The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hello my dears, welcome back to the world of virtual classes. So first of all, let me wish you all a happy new year. May this year be fulfilled with joy, happiness and prosperity in your life. So this is our first class of 2021, right? So let's begin the session by watching a small video. Trees form the core factor of sustaining life on earth. They cleanse the air and make it favorable to breathe. Trees maintain an ecological balance of the environment. Trees form a natural habitat for the animals, birds, insects and wildlife. Trees are poems that the earth writes upon the sky. People who will not sustain trees will soon live in a world that will not sustain people. Be like a tree. The tree gives shade even to him who cuts off its boughs. So children, trees plays a pivotal role in sustaining life in nature. So in today's class, we are going to learn a new poem on killing a tree written by Jeev Patel. Do you know who is Jeev Patel? Jeev Patel is an Indian poet, playwright, painter and physician. His poems expose man's cruelty to nature. He is part of Green Movement, which is involved in an effort to protect the environment. His works include poems like How Do You Withstand Body, Mirrored Mirroring and three plays titled Princess, Shavaska and Mr. Beram. So children, the poem on killing a tree is a scathing criticism of human carelessness and cruelty in chopping down trees for industrialization and urbanization. The poem also applauds the sturdiness and resilience of trees in that they take all kinds of attacks and wounds in their stride but refuse to die. So okay children, now let's begin the poem on killing a tree. It takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crest, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaves. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. No, the root is to be pulled out. Out of the anchoring earth, it is to be roped, tied and pulled out, snapped out or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed. The source, white and wet, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. Then the matter of scorching and chalking in, sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So now let's see the first paragraph. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. That is, a simple cut or a single jab of the knife is not enough to kill a tree. Because of that, it takes much time to kill a tree. And the poet also says that he compares the trees as human beings, where he says that one cannot kill a tree with a jab of a knife. What is the meaning of jab? That is a sudden rough blow. So with a single jab of a knife or by hacking it, like they would kill any human beings. It has grown, slowly consuming the earth. So it consumes the earth, or it is firmly held by the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water. So it absorbs, the tree absorbs years of sunlight, air and water, and out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves. So the leaves and branches of the trees are sprouted from its bark, and it looked like a leprous disease.
Next answer. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. Miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. That is, cutting and chopping of these trees by an axe is not enough to kill a tree. But this will give only pain. This will give only pain to the tree, but it won't be sufficient to destroy it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. The poet also says that when the tree is being chopped or hacked, the sap flows out from the tree and the bark will heal itself with time. So children, here the poet brings out another comparison, that is bleeding bark. That is, the sap coming out from the tree when it is being cut is compared to the bleeding from the wound in a human body. But after chopping down the tree, again new branches will grow and it will expand to their former size. That is, the nature has the ability to recover itself. Next answer. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied and pulled out, snapped out or pulled out entirely. Out from the earth cave and the strength of the tree exposed. So in this stanza, the poet speaks about how brutally we kill a tree. That is, the tree is strongly hold to the earth by its roots. So to kill a tree, its roots has to be uprooted from the ground. So to do so, the tree has to be tied with a rope and to be pulled out completely from the earth cave. Here the earth cave means the space which is created in the earth by uprooting the tree. Children, roots are the life source of a tree, and when it is exposed, surely it will die. So children, in the final stanza, the poet speaks about the source of a tree and what happens to the tree when it is being uprooted. The source, white and wet, the most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. So here what does it mean? Source, here the source refers to the root, which are described as white and wet. Why it is described as white and wet? Because the white liquid flows out from the tree when the roots are being pulled out, which will be most sensitive, and it is always hidden for years inside the earth. That is, the roots are hidden inside the earth, which is white in color, and it's always wet, and the liquid flows out from the tree when the roots are being pulled out. Then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. That is, the tree will gradually dry up due to the heat of the sun and wind, and it will not be able to breathe, and transport of nutrients will stop as its roots will be pulled out, and the trunk of the tree will become brownish color. It will become brownish in color and it will get more harder, and the tree will dry and bend out of shape, and finally the tree will die. So children, from this poem we can understand how a tree is being killed or chopped, and the poet tries to convey us that the man's cruelty in chopping down trees, because he is very much concerned about nature, and he tries to convey man's cruelty towards nature. So children, I hope you all have understood the poem. As I said before, trees form the core factor of sustaining life on earth. So it is our responsibility to save our nature. Let's wind up the session. Meet you in the next class. Till then, it's bye from your Aparna teacher.